Friday night, got the bus to my dad's up there, and on the way my dad's, I walked past the canal, and believe it or not, down there is where my fishing began. 4 years of age with my dad on Boxing Day, and we used to fish at this stretch quite a lot. So now I'm going to go with my dad's, and I'll be up first thing in the morning and we'll be back on the canal. Next morning on the canal, it's about 7:30 and I've got on the canal nice and early. Conditions wise is not great. It's got that horrible grey colour to it that you get. I've been coming past the canal quite a bit this week on the bus, and it's had a bit of ice on it, you know, in the night, which has been, you know, thawing out during the day. So you've had the freezing and then the thawing over the 24-hour period, and it's never really good for canal fishing. It's got that horrible grey colour to it, so I'm not really confident of getting a bite. But as you've probably seen from the opening shots, the car is off the road, so to get fishing, I've literally packed home, finished work, packed the gear into together as little amount as I can, jumped on the bus last night, and I've stayed over at my dad's, and this is probably the only venue that I can fish that's easily to get to. So hopefully we've got 2 days at it. I'm not confident at all, really, if I'm honest with you. It's not great conditions, and the canal, even at this time of year, is clear. So we'll see if we can get a bite. I'll put it up either way as a blog, because it's the reality of fishing. You know, we all have things away from fishing that stop us going. So I'll put this up as a blog anyway, and we'll see how we do. Minimal amount of tackle. I've got my rucksack with my terminal tackle in and my unhooking equipment, a bait bucket, and it's got a compartment in the top for my camera equipment, and that's where I put my dead baits in the bottom, and my hold all. The peg today, obviously a nice comfy peg, you know, somewhere to sit. This morning was a real trip down memory lane. I walked the same route that I used to walk with my dad to come fishing on this canal as a kid, and 4 years of age all the way till about 15, I used to come up here of a Saturday with my dad fishing, and I used to come up with my blue shaky box, and I had a Shakespeare rod. It was my first ever rod from my dad bought me the rod from Scotty's in Northwich. If anyone remembers the shop being called Scotty's and not Vale Royal, that's where I got my first ever rod from. And I used to fish with a little whip that you still see me using on the channel today, a little black, I think it's a 3-meter whip, and as I said, I still use that on some of these videos. And it might be a case in summer that we might come back and have a couple of sessions on the canal on the old bits that we used to fish. It might be something interesting that we can do. So if you want to see videos like that on canal fishing, let me know in the comments below, and we'll do a couple of videos. But yeah, it brings back a lot of memories coming back up the canal, and days spent fishing with my dad. And maybe, just maybe, we might get him out on the bank and get him fishing again, because we had some right good times. Probably sat opposite that blue container there. Many a nice roach and a bream has been caught opposite that container. So we pan the rods round, just waiting for the bite, and fingers crossed, you know, Mr. Pike today will make an appearance. So we're on about 150 videos on the channel now of weekly updates, and I really didn't want to break the cycle of that, so this video will go up regardless if it's a blank or not. If it is a blank, I'll keep it as short as possible, but I am trying my best to show the reality of fishing, and us as anglers, we all have this type of problems: the car breaking down, overtime in work, or a big bill in the house that stops us having the money to go fishing, are all things that, you know, can stop you getting out on the bank. So I've done my best to get rods in the water, and it will be 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, just trying to get a fish for this blog. If I don't, it won't be through lack of effort. So 9:30, and my dad and my brother have just turned up with a bit of a treat. So at least we won't go hungry, even if the pike are. There was one boat as a kid that used to park there that was white, and she used to chuck a Sunday dinner off the end and what was left of it, and believe it or not, green peas was a fantastic bait for any fish, whether that was roach, carp, bream. We always used to fish green beans, them little green peas off the edge of that boat, and you would catch some quality fish. And all day today, little memories have been flooding back, and one of them, believe it or not, is this little fence. Well, it's little now, but it used to cover the whole length, and we used to make our own floats out of straws, and we used to use that as the weight in them, because it'd fit perfectly inside a straw. And today has been slow on the fishing, but plenty of memories have been flooding back, and sitting at home making the floats was one of them. My dad's had a quick brew, and we're back up the canal. Spot 2 for the afternoon on the Saturday is a tree that's fell in the water. It goes halfway across the canal, and there's a reed bed behind it. So we've got a bait fished to that feature. Because the canal's clear, I'm hoping it's going to hold a pike. And if we pan round, we've got another one just halfway down the canal in the middle, in the deepest water. And of course, fishing in an urban location is loud, and you've got all the mess that goes with it. I've never understood why people chuck things in the canal, especially when it's people of the age of, 10 upwards. I mean, what enjoyment is there in just a splash and chucking something in a canal? But people do it time and time again. So I'm just going to sit back and hopefully we'll get it run. With piking, there's a number of signs that changes around, and the ducks starting to pair off is one of them. It won't be long before the snowdrops are up and the daffs are out and the pike season's gone, but the signs of change are all around us. But I imagine before the end, we're coming towards the end of January now, we're going to have a really cold spell, because we haven't this year at all. Valentine's Day, and it's all about that special girl, and today, what a special girl it is. All 17.5 pounds of her. Beautiful fish. So we'll quickly go over the rig that caught that pike. As you will have seen on a video this evening, teaming up with Dinsmore's, and this is my first session out using their Pike complete float kit. This one is the unweighted float. It's got a swivel, 2 beads, you've got an inline float, your weight. I've added my own swivel there, and then what I like is it's a nice long wire trace. The bait that caught the pike was a whole herring, and I'm completely out of them. So it's going to be a section of mackerel that's going out next time. And yeah, what a start. And that is the packaging it comes in. So let's get it back out. Beautiful 17.5 pound pike, taking on a full herring, and yeah, didn't half scream off. The float just disappeared. There was no take. 1 minute the float was there, the next it was gone, and a good solid take and battle with a February female pike in beautiful condition. She's got an important job to do next month, so we won't keep it out too long, and that is a fantastic result. Absolutely made up. Let's get her back straight away. And one last look. Absolutely buzzing. Let's get her back. Right, well rested. It's time for this girl to go back. Let's let her go. She's going to swim into the net. And back she goes. Right, so the session comes to an end there now. A proper trip down memory lane on some parts of it. I hope you've enjoyed that little bit of the blog about, you know, memories of time gone by on the canal. And yeah, if that's what you enjoyed, then I can introduce some more into the channel as we go on. But yeah, to end it on a fish like that, proper buzzing. Got to go and pick the card up this afternoon, so fingers crossed, after today we'll be back on the road. Tight lines in your own fishing, and I'll catch you all next week.